accept my testimony and especially the tapes I was carrying. How did the defense lawyer know? I knew now for certainty that we were being watched. The judge overruled. There was some issue with the police tapes due to technical problem when it was to be played in court. The accused was not present that day. His permission was sought via video conferencing. He was connected and he was asked and he said no, he would like to be present. So it was carried over the next day when His Highness would come from jail to watch with me. My stomach was burning and in knots. My temple was throbbing. There was a throbbing in the anal region and the anal discharge was continuing. I was to wear adult diapers for most of the entire duration. The next day I told the judge from start to finish how I had not slept for more than a year. My trauma, the dog's trauma, my children's trauma. I led the narrative of the whole sequence of the CCTV footage and he watched with a smirk. Wonder whether he was getting sexually aroused, who knows. The judge admitted the footage despite vehement opposition by the defense. If looks would kill, he would be dead, but he was very much alive. I just made it back home somehow and locked myself in the room. I was drained and numb, bereft of feeling and sensation.
Sujata, what a nightmarish experience for you and your girls. Oh, that's unbelievable and so powerfully written. I was right there in the courtroom with you. Thank you for sharing that with our listeners. And I'm sure after hearing that, they want to know where to find the book. So let me tell them. It is on Amazon, and let me give you the title again, and let me spell Sujata's name for you. The title of the book is Against All Odds. No retakes, no manuals, real life lessons. By Sujata, Sujata, Tiwari, Tiwari. When you go to Amazon, type in your search feature the name of the book, and Sujata is just by her first name, Sujata, as the author. When you see the book and you see the title on Amazon, it will also have her last name, Tiwari, Tiwari. You can order the book right there on that page, and in the upper right-hand corner of the cover representation, you'll see two words. You'll see the words "Look Inside." If you'll click on those two words, the book will electronically open. You'll see Sujata's picture is on the front cover. Is that right, Sujata? Is that you?
Yes, on the book cover, it's me.
I thought that was you. And then on the inside are all of these wonderful photographs of you and your parents and all kinds of personal photographs that our listeners can see and get an idea of what you look like and what your parents look like. And there are some other photographs in there as well. Now, let's send them to your website, because you do have a website, and I think you want to give the listeners some more information. Let's give them the website. Yeah, please.
The website is www.againstalloddbysujata.com. Or you can also find me on LinkedIn, which is Sujata-Tiwari 146993165.
And I think you also wanted to give the listeners some contact information that is in the book.
Yes. So in the book and everywhere, like I say, that I'm one of the most accessible people on this planet. So I give my phone number, which is +65 91735302. And my email ID is also there in the book, which is sujata@cavecounsel.com. It's very simple, CAVECOUNSEL.com.
Perfect. Now, I have one more question for you, And this may be a hard question to answer because this is such a personal story, and it's so filled with trauma and drama, and there is so much that has happened in your life. When our listeners become readers and they've purchased a copy of the book and they sit down and they read the book, I doubt that they would read it cover to cover, but they would read the book, and when they finish, when they get to that very last page, and they finish the last page and they close the cover, what message would you like for our listeners who become readers to take away from the book Against All Odds?
The reader should take away after reading the book is if there is no hope, it's all dark, then that book should serve as a light for you to know that you can do it if I could do it. And there is one person in this globe who can be your 2 a.m., 4 a.m. friend, and that is me. I would like to be there for you in your journey, no matter how traumatic is your life, you can count on me. That is why you keep this book with you. If you don't find me, you see and read from the book everything. There is a solution. And if you can connect with me, then I'm there. No matter where you are, no matter where I am, as long as I'm alive, I'm there to help.
Thank you so very much. You are an inspiration. Your story is the story that comes out of headlines. It's the story that we see in the movies. And yet it happened to you, a real person. And I thank you so much for sharing that story and for making yourself available to someone who may be suffering in some way the same as you suffered. So I think that's very important. Thank you so much for doing that. It's been a pleasure to have you as my guest on Books on Air.
It's my pleasure too.
Now remember, you can find this very powerful personal story written by Sujata Tiwari, Sujata Tiwari. The title of the book, Against All Odds. You can find it on Amazon. You've been listening to the Books on Air podcast, brought to you on webtalkradio.net. You can hear this podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. I'm Suzanne Harris, and I hope that you'll join me for our next Books on Air podcast, because remember, you never know who's going to be here, and you never know what we're going to talk about. Thank you so much for listening.